So let's start off by saying that I pretty much gave you this setup on a play. If you watch my last video that I uploaded onto my channel, I think it was Monday, we were simulating, we were trading the Binary Destroyer 8.0 Mogwai strategy on the 1 minute time frame, and we're using the 15-minute time frame as confirmation to look at the bigger picture, what's happening on the charts, to see that if that setup is with the trend or against the trend. Now this is a setup on gold 15-minute time frame, and it's using the exact same concept. So 15-minute time frame, and I was using the 1 hour to look at the bigger picture to see what's actually happening with the market. Now, like I mentioned in the previous video, Mogwai setups will most likely appear around support and resistance. It doesn't happen all the time, but I'd say around 80% of the time, if you get a Mogwai setup, it's around support and resistance. Now, what we want to do is to see if that signal is with the trend or against the trend. Just because we've got a signal, just because the MACD has gone overbought, and just because it's at a support and resistance area doesn't necessarily mean it's going to win. We want to look at the bigger picture. Now, before I break down that setup, I just want to show you the results of that sell, just so you can see that I took it. So I took a sell on gold at a 500 pip take profit. I banked around £400. USD CAD was a nice little buy that I took about 20 minutes ago before I did this video, and again, nice little win on that one. And this is that setup that I posted yesterday, 20 hours ago, in the Facebook VIP group. By the way, this is where all the BD members share their results. As you can see here, this particular member is trading US 30 with Renko. Now, I'm not a fan of Renko trading, because basically what you're doing is you're replacing the candlesticks on the charts with blocks. Okay, they're called Renko blocks. Now, rather than moving in time, these move in pips, so each block will move in a pip. But yeah, as you can see here, nice little before and after on that one. But yeah, what was I talking about? So this was that setup, Mogwai strategy, 15-minute time frame, resistance area at the 1 hour. So this was yesterday. MACD went overbought, Mogwai signal at a resistance area, TCA line had turned red, and what I did was look at the bigger picture to say, okay, what's happening now? Got a setup, it meets all the rules, but is it a setup that I want to take? What is it telling me? And on the 1 hour, we got this nice little downtrend and break and retouch. Now that trade paid off nicely. Okay, so to break it down for you again, okay, we've got this nice little Mogwai signal at the top. TCA lines just turned red, MACD has gone overbought, and what I did was look at the 1 hour time frame. Now let's start off by the 4 hour. Okay, now on the 4 hour, we can see that we're in a downtrend. We're making that typical, you know, trend down, pull back, trend down, pull back, trend down, pull back, trend down. Okay, and I looked at that and thought, okay, it's basically a downtrend. You can see it's a downtrend, and to go to it even further, you can mark up all the highs just there. You can see they're all lower, and we can mark all the lows here. You get the idea, it's a downtrend. So I had that set up on the 15 minutes. I looked at the 4 hour and I thought, okay, downtrend. I know that setup's with the trend. I just want to see what's happening on the 1 hour. When we go up to down to the 1 hour now, you can see that nice area of resistance. That there is exactly where that Mogwai signal appeared on the 15 minutes, just there. Okay, so I looked at this now and I said, okay, 15-minute time frame, Mogwai signal, MACD overbought or sold. Perfect. Looked at the 1 hour, I seen that we were at a resistance. Not only that, I seen that we created a new low in the market being there. So I thought, okay, what's going to happen is price is going to come down, it's going to come up like this here, and we're going to make a new low. Paid off really, really good this trade. Like I said, a 500 pip take profit, 100 pip stop loss, 1 to 5, banked some nice profits. But we can actually go into this setup a little bit further now, because if we actually read into the comments, I actually posted as well this morning. Here we go here. So this was that setup this morning. 35% gain off the back of yesterday's Mogwai setup. I actually called this setup in here last night. Keep an eye on how we break structure downside. Anyway, I said here, we can see that we are no longer pushing down, and we could see a significant move to the upside. And then about an hour after I posted that, we pushed higher. And yeah, I want to explain to you how I knew that that was going to happen. Now, it's actually very simple. It's basically looking at the trends, pullbacks in the market. And it's a subject that a lot of traders always miss. You know, they talk about support and resistance and trends and they go, yeah, I know how to trade it. But do you actually really know how to trade it? Because I could write a 1,000-page book just on this subject alone. You'll actually see as well, another BD member took this. Look, I caught this setup as well, Mogwai with the trend and targeted lower fig on the 15 minutes. It was a good trade. Now, how did I know that price was gonna push up from this level? And how can we use this to profit when we're trading the binary destroyer? Okay, well, first of all, let me just remember. Okay. Let's first of all look at the 1 hour. Okay, and this might be a little bit confusing, but I really want you to understand. Let's, in fact, let me just pause it for a sec. Okay, if you've been watching my videos recently, I always talk about Bob. Bob is a very good example of talking about trends. And this is a very good example of how I knew that price was going to push up from this level and we could have profited from it. In fact, let me just... sorry, I know I keep pausing the video. But yeah, as you can see here, right, this is gold on the 1 minute time frame. This is my kind of preferred time frame for trading the binary destroyer. So as you can see here, we had that sell-off at the top. Okay, this was that sell, you know, on the 50. So if you go to 15, this was that sell. I got the same sell on the 1 minute. Now you can see we had a nice little buy there. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I knew that was going to. By the way, we had a nice little sell here off the 50, off the 1 minute as well. Nice little setup with the trend. Nice little area of support just there and resistance. You see that? Like I said, always around support and resistance, Mogwai setups. And I can tell you how I knew that buy happened. So let's go back over to the 4 hour. So let's just imagine Bob here is a runner and Bob goes for a run. Okay, you can see that that is a big move down. Okay, Bob has ran down quite fast, and then market's going to pull back, right? How big of a rest is that for Bob? It's not much, is it? Right? It's not much of a rest at all. Well, that tells me that there's still a lot of energy in this trend, that Bob's still got a lot more energy to give, and this trend is going to continue down because the pullback, right, the break for Bob is very small. It's a very small pullback, very small break. And what happens? Bob comes down again. And again, big push down. If you look at the size from this move to this move, it's just straight down, isn't it? Right? Then look what happens. Bob pulls back again, right? So again, Bob's taking another break. The market's pulling back. And then Bob decides he's going to run. But now look at this one. Look how much, or look how far Bob has run now. It's less than this move here. So this move here was, in fact, let's start at the top, right? This move here was a big move down. This move here was a big move down. But this move here was not a big move down. Bob's running out of energy. So what does Bob do now? Okay, he takes a bigger rest, right? Bob has now took a bigger rest. So what's that telling me now? That the momentum in this trend is slowing down. Bob is finally running out of energy now, and we could be going into an uptrend. Just to confirm that, we created our first high in the market. Notice how this pullback is now higher than this one. So then what happened was Bob came back down. Okay, Bob ran even further, and again, this move is getting slower, getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So this trend is slowing down significantly. And if we actually go down to the 1 hour now, you can see this area of support here. So if we go over to the daily now, let's just look at the daily. You can see that area just here. Okay, so what's actually happening now is that the market, or this trend, is slowing down at this level, and we could potentially now be going into an uptrend. Now, if I was on the charts, I would have spotted that and I would have took this setup all day long, right? And you lot would have watched this video, or you would have seen that setup and gone, hang on here, it's a downtrend, Jamie. Why are you taking it? It's against the trend. No, it's not. It's starting to give me signs in the market that a potential reversal is going to happen. So that's pretty much how I trade it, right? It's pretty much how I trade the binary destroyer. You're going to get two setups. They're going to be either with the trend, they're going to be either against the trend. You got to figure out which one it is. What is the market actually telling me? Okay, once you start to get a clearer picture and of that, it's going to significantly improve your trading, because you're going to start to see the bigger picture of what is happening on the charts. I mean, like I said here, Euro USD, you know, we've popped these nice, I mean, look at that nice area of resistance here, right? When I look at setups like this here, right? Okay, I'm just going to pause it. I'm just going to mark it up there. I look at this, right? So we've got this nice significant move up like here. We come all the way down. We come back up. We retouch this area of resistance, and then price drops. What I'm looking for next is the next move down, right? Are we going to go lower than this point here, or are we going to bounce off this support line? If we start bouncing off this support line and popping a Mogwai signal, I'll just take the trade back up, right? If we break this area of support, then we're going lower. That's pretty much how it is. And again, we've got this nice area of support just here as well. But yeah, I'm going to leave that there. I mean, I can sit and talk about this all day long. My name is Jeremy Palmer. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, drop me an email, thebinarydestroyer@gmail.com.